Hey tubes, back here. I've been busy. And also it's dwindling down. I've sold a bunch of stuff. One I've got for sale is that lawn boy back there. And I'm down to just two cycle equipment, and that one on the left there is gonna be going out today, and the other one needs some work. Anyway. And going back here to these other stuff I'm gonna work on. These, you saw my short, I got free these Toros. My plans on this one is that now they do have compression, they will run off carburetor cleaner. I did verify that. The recoil on the Tecumseh one over here was kind of hard to move, but some penetrating oil, I got that going. I have a bag for both these. This deck over here on the Tecumseh one is toast. So I've got another Toro deck in the basement, but it's transmission shot. So maybe this transmission works, and I can change, and it'll fit the other one. I don't know. And then this Lawn Boy, it runs. Rear wheel drive works. No bag. But it needs an air filter box cover, and I have an air filter for it. So let's start this one with, let's see if we can get this one with the Briggs to work. One problem I do see, it rolls forward, but it won't roll back. It will not roll backwards. I don't know if this is because it's the shaft, the axle is rusted and fused, or because these are left outside. I don't know. I'll look at that later. Let's just get this to, if I do get this to run, it's gonna smoke like a chimney, smoke like a freight train. I had this thing upside down with spark plug down. And there was probably some oil that leaked out or something, I don't know. Because this is unknown, it looked like it was sitting outside. I'm gonna have to take everything out. So, the plan of attack is, let's take off the cover. Two Phillips bolts. And we expose what everything's going on here, and that's a mess. Well, the throttle and choke plates aren't seized, so that's promising. Let's, what do we got here? 5/16. Maybe this thing's over full. Speaking of that, let's take a look at the oil. It's where it's supposed to be. So, another thing is, where I am down south, you need to watch out for black widows. And this is the wrong bolt for this. Someone's been in here before. This is not the right bolt. It fits, but it's not the right one. Although, got almost a brand new air filter. Oh, I have a correct box cover for this somewhere with the bolt on it. So now we got 5/16 bolt. Okay. The gasket stayed here, and it looks like it's intact. I only suspect the carburetor is messed up because it's because of the condition of what it looked like on the outside. So let me go get my neo nose. Good practice is to take the carburetor off to look at it, unless it happens to run already, and you know it's running, which just doesn't happen often. No gas, which is maybe this thing was put away dry, which is a good sign. Oh, that's a different 3/8 bolt. Can't imagine doing this without power tools. Let me get the right, this is a 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch to get loosen this up. This is usually the first thing you do, but that's okay. Now that we got it off, the one linkage, and let's look inside of here. So, good sign is that this isn't, these aren't locked, but frozen up. So let's look in here to see how things are. Or I do have another carburetor. Or you can order one, aftermarket one from HIPA store. They've got ones that you can just take out and put on. So this is a 1/2 inch. Let's open it up and take a look. Uh-oh. That's some sort. It's probably water. Looks like water. Okay. The main jet's actually clean. See? You see? Yeah, you can see right through it. So let's take a look at the bowl. It had, well, yeah, it's got some corrosion. And the float seems, it's okay. But to speed things up, I've got a used carburetor that will fit this. Or you can order a new one from from HIPA at the HIPA store. They've got a discount going on. I think it's 30% off. I'll put details in the description. What I got here is a clean, used OEM auto choke carburetor that probably will fit this here, this one, and this is a copy, so replacement. Yeah, this is a aftermarket one. Kind of like the ones you can get off the HIPAA store. They look almost identical, and they work. So I gotta try this one first. This is an OEM one. As you see, it's they're pretty close. The only difference is this part. Pretty close. The only difference is this part here. They're both OEM is metal, and this one here is plastic. Don't know why. Maybe this is a little older one, but the easiest thing to do is just go ahead and just replace it instead of cleaning it out and rebuilding it. So, and good place to get your parts is the HIPAA store. So, to install the carburetor, this is, or after you've cleaned it yourself, or you got a replacement part, just take the part, take your 3/8" bolts back, make sure there's an O-ring back here. It stayed here, otherwise you're gonna have to put it an O-ring there. This one stayed there, and then to kind of get it started, what you're gonna do is first, let me see if I can zoom in here, get you all good. Here, yeah. To first get it on the Z-bend, or Z-bend, as they say. Aha. Start it on the 3/8" bolts. Just kind of let it hang there. Yeah, yes, I know I could use my drill. This is just what I had in handy. Actually, it's good to start with that way, and then switch over to the drill or your whatever tool you're using. Now we need to put back the auto choke. So you do is, hang on, move my tray out of the way. What you do is you just make sure this auto choke flap here is, this plastic is in there, and then just screw this back in. It must move like that, otherwise it won't work. So now just reattach the fuel line. Effect. And put the clamp back on. I know this carburetor is good. It came out, it's been used on another mower. So let's just put everything back on. I took off the gasket with a razor blade I have, and let's stick the gasket on the back of this, back on the back of this one. Which should be like that. That's how these get installed. This gasket's still good. If you get a new carburetor, they will give you a new gasket. For the moment of the truth, this is an auto choke carburetor, so I should just be able to pull it. So it runs, smokes like a Dickens right now because the way I had it tipped. But the self-propelled works. The wheels turn, but you can't pull it in reverse. The wheels lock up. It's probably something to do with the axle, rusted up or fused because it sat outside. Probably because they had a carburetor problem and it sat, and then they just left it outside. So I'm just going to run this till it stops smoking, and I look at the self-propelled. Yeah, killing some mosquitoes. Good news on this one, it stopped smoking, and just by running it, I was able to loosen up the rear wheels. Now I had put in some penetrating oil into the axle and kind of moved around with some vice grips, and that probably helped it. So now it does move back and forward now. It used to be locked up, so it was probably just some surface rust and fused together. Everything works on it now. So what I'm gonna do is change the oil, sharpen the blade, and this one should be good to go. It was just the I think it was just the carburetor. I'm not seeing it leaking any oil. I checked the oil. It doesn't need to be changed. It does not. So here, I just balanced and sharpened these blades. So you see, I put a nice little sharp edge on it. It is perfectly balanced. One of the easiest blades I've ever balanced. So just slap it back on. Call it a day. I got something this thing is missing. Got the bag and the side sheet. Both these came off of a Toro that you probably saw earlier in another video that I had to do an engine swap, which ended up being a Lawn Boy. So I'm using it for parts, maybe a deck, and I'll throw this on. Thing left to do on this is give it a spit shine, test it out a little bit, and post it. Later.